Okay, so your table is in 1NF if each field has a unique name, it has a primary key, and all values are unique and atomic, and there's no repeating groups. When you see something like this, you can see that, oh, okay, there's empty spaces. Well, I can just fill them in with that information there, but that's not the answer because it means that that row is not unique. There's nothing to make that row unique because your primary key is your order number. And even if you were to use your customer ID, that row is not unique. So we have to, this is a trick of how you deal with something like this. The whole thing comes back to, in a database, for one bit of information, for one record, you only want all that data in one row. And you kind of understand that when you start using SQL queries, because the query will only give you one row for one item. So it wouldn't catch this information here. So to fix this, we will copy it, and I will paste it in here. And now, actually, I just paste it down a bit. So now I want all that information on one row. So what we do is I just delete that one, and we will put in and copy that. Okay, so now we have all this data for that one Richard Ryan, that one order, is all on one row, which is exactly what we want. However, we may have fixed that little dilemma, but it means we now have repeating groups. So this is essentially the item that's repeating. So we need to take that out into a separate column. I'll just clear that. So we're going to take out this one. And we'll take out this. And we'll take out this. And we will get rid of all of these now because they're out. And delete. And we'll move it left. Okay, so, and to connect that with that, we will just take the order number. So if I've got a pizza name here, so I could either make that the primary key, or I actually might insert, right? And I think I should really have a pizza code to go with that. I will call that 101, 102, 103. And we will do the same for the other ones. So I'll just take those out. And that belongs to order 202, 3, and pizza code 104, 105, 106. And we would just get this information here, customer address, and the totals. Okay, I'm being lazy. I haven't divided because, let's see, customer first name. I'm being lazy because I should really divide up the address as well because it's not atomic. It's not divided down to the smallest part. You could put in street and then city as well, because if you were to do a search, a query search on that, it would be harder to find. It just makes your SQL query slightly more complicated, but I'm just going to be lazy and not put it in. So I'm just going to see, are you still following me? Okay, you got 2 hands up. Hey. Okay, I'm just going to talk to Anne first. Are you able to hear me?
I can hear you, but nothing on your screen is updating. So I'm still looking at the original database.
Okay. Okay, so
No, I see it. That's it. Yeah, yeah.
so we've just moved from 0 NF, which is this here, and we've just moved into 1 NF. And the whole idea was, if I wonder if I just go Control Z, it'll go back. Yes. Okay. So literally what I did was, the whole point is to be able to have one record in one row. That is your aim. So that one order number will all be on that one row. And if it's not, then it needs to be in a separate table. That's really what I'm trying to get you to think of. So what I did was put it into one row, and then I could see, hey, it's got a repeating group, which is this one here. And there it is again, and there it is again. So I divided that out, and I'm just copying that into here, and the JAWS, and we will get rid of all those pizza names from that column. Okay, so now we will copy all this information. Let's see, JAWS, vegetarian. So to make that row unique, I think I'm going to I'm just going to go insert shells, right? Okay, so I need to make this unique, so I need to use my order number so I can link it to there, but also I'm going to give this so this is a composite key now. So these are two primary keys, which is a composite key, and I will just give it a random number. 105, 106, whoops, 6. Okay, and we'll just get 22, 22, I think that's right. Oh no, 203 and 203. Okay, so I'll just save that. So now, if I go through, each field's unique name is a primary key, all data are unique and atomic, and no repeating groups. Okay, so this is pretty good. Now we've divided that out. I'm just going to check. You can hear me and you can see my screen. You can put your hand up if you can't, or if you've got a question about what I've just done. Okay, okay, you're happy. Right. So the next thing now is, actually, just to make sure that I know this is changed, I'll just do this. Okay, so now we know we were in 0 NF, and now we're in 1 NF. I'll just make that. Okay, so we're in 1 NF here. So we could do actually the same thing. I might just copy that, because we're going to move to 2 NF now. Okay, so what are the rules for 2 NF? Okay, I just want to clean it all up. So to be in 2 NF, you have to have gone through the 1 NF process already. Really important to remember that. Now, all non-key attributes are dependent on all parts of the primary key. Okay, all parts. So essentially we're dealing with something that's got a composite key. So we're dealing with this table. So if we want to, if I just reduce that, get that screen to go down. So actually I just realized I'm missing out this information. Just put that in there, and the total cost. Okay, I never finished that off. Okay, so this table is already in 2 NF, so we will stick it in here. However, let's deal with this one. So is the pizza name totally dependent on the order number and the pizza number? Well, actually no, it's not. That's kind of obvious. Pizza number and pizza name aren't. So let's take them out. Price of the pizza, is that dependent on order number? Well, no, it's not. It's dependent on the pizza number and the pizza name, so we will take that out too. And quantity, is quantity dependent on pizza number, pizza name, price? No, it's not. It's actually dependent on the order. Okay, so I think I need to take that one out too. Order. It's not, I think, I know I have to take it out. Okay. So now, if I escape, so now that's, looks good. Okay, so now I believe I am in all non-key attributes depend on all parts. So all I did was split this table up into 2 parts. So now I'm in 2NF, and I think I'm quite happy with that one. Again, let me just put this in here. I actually, for last week, for the normalization, I did a video. So if you want to look on your Moodle page, you can just go through the previous example, and I just think it's a bit clearer than when we had our webinar. So that's the reason why I did it again. Anyway, I just want to see if anyone's any questions about what I just did, or is it pretty straightforward? Okay, Anne, what do you think? Hello? Hello, Anne?
I just have one query. And
yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Hi. The order number, that's
yes.
not unique in that table though.
In the order number here, in the quantity?
Yeah. Yeah. Like
you
the
are
order
right.
number isn't unique.
Yes, you are right.
So does there need to be a primary key in there?
Yes.
Or is it acceptable to have that like that?
No, you're right. I think I've made an error, and I will just check. Pizza code, quantity, and then when I go into order number, yes, you're right, and that was my bad. We need, if I just put that over, apologies, it was my mistake.
Okay.
Yes, okay, that was silly. Sometimes you're talking and thinking it doesn't work at the same rate. Yeah. So, anyway, yes, you're right. I'll just put your, okay, I'm guessing Catherine had the same question because she had her hand up as well. Hey, Catherine?
Yeah, hi. Yeah, I had actually, but I was a bit confused with the total as well. I thought the total should go with the order number and that, but no, I see why it doesn't now, so it's okay.
Okay, no worries.
It's okay.
Okay, so next, if I just minimize you again. So this time we have to do the 3NF. So Control C, Control X. I'm going to give you, I'll post this information online again. And the table is in 3NF, must be in 2NF already. So now this one is all non-key attributes. So all your okay, well that is a key, and there's only one. So all non-key attributes, so that's 2 non-key attributes, are not dependent on any other non-key. Okay, so we're only dealing with the non-key attributes. So if we look in here and we say, well, it's kind of obvious now at this stage, is the total dependent on the customer information? Well, I think the total is definitely dependent on the order number. Is the customer address dependent on the order number? No, the customer address is really dependent on the customer ID. And the customer name is dependent on the customer ID. So it's almost obvious that we're going to tackle. So these ones are okay because pizza name and price of the pizza are both dependent on the pizza number. So their price isn't dependent on pizza name more than it's dependent on pizza number. So we can almost take those out already. So we'll put them out here because we know, whoops. I just do that again. I'll put them down here because they're all ready to go. They're already in 3NF. So let's take this one down. So we're going to take out this information here. and we will stop that, and I will just delete left. So the order number is linked to an order date, which is dependent on the order number. Its customer ID is going to be the foreign key, and then that's the total of our pizza. And I will just check that I had that myself originally at the very end. And I did. I just wanted to, and we just delete that. Delete. And so now you can see that is in 3NF. And just check our rules. Okay, so no non-key attribute is dependent on any other non-key attribute, more so than it is dependent on your primary key. Okay, just check if you've got any questions on that. You want to put up your hands? Okay, Anne.
I'm just wondering about the total. Would that be considered a computed column, and would that be something that you wouldn't actually put in?
I see what you're saying. Yes.
The only reason I say it is because in the the Learn Key material,
yes,
he mentions taking out computed columns.
Yes.
So I'm just wondering, is it good practice, not good practice? Does it matter really for an exam? Or
I don't think it matters for exam, because what we've gone through is the 3NF. I mean, there's 6 normalization possibilities. So yes, I could start taking that out. That could be the 4NF possibly.
Okay, right, okay.
Yeah. So there is extra fields, but when we teach this and in practice, you really only ever go to 3. Sometimes you go to further. Yes. So say
Okay.
maybe yes, you would take out that that table and put it separate. But at the moment, I mean, you can imagine if we link this to a little program, that the total would be stored in that table associated with the order. But you could argue maybe I should take that out. And don't forget, what I've done here is not set in stone. You may have a slightly different way of doing it. It might be just slightly different columns. You may have, you see the way at the very start I had order number here? Well, you may have decided, well, how about we give it a pizza number, and then we'll, how to make that row unique? Well, that row is unique if just using that key on its own. And how would you link it to this one here? Well, you'd think, well, if I just put in pizza number here and the order number, I'm still going to, you couldn't do that, because you still result, you'd have to store lots and lots of pizza numbers just for that one order. So I think actually that is right.
It is, yeah.
But I'm willing to view another version.
No, I don't. I was looking at what I did, and I didn't feel it was right.
Right.
And when I look at what you did, it makes far more sense to do it that way. So
yeah, I mean, when you're faced with this first, sometimes it is difficult, because sometimes your code is actually, your tables are in maybe 2NF already, and you just have to do the last step. I always think the 2NF to 3NF is really obvious, because it'll be like take out the order, take out the customer, anything that looks like a different object. Customer looks like a different object from that, and pizza name looks like a different object. So even if when I just looked at that initially, you almost think of 3NF already. So some people just jump from 0 to 3NF, once they get good at this. But the reason why we have to teach you the stages is because this is part of your learning process, I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's okay. That's fine. Yeah. Thank you.
And just check with Catherine. Are you okay with what I've just showed?
Yeah.
Kind of.
It's completely, I just had this idea that the whole thing needed to be unique tables, but I understand what you've done though. I get it now, I think.
Okay.
You would have, see in the order number, you have 201, 201, 201. The pizza numbers, you know what I mean? To me, yeah, I just had it wrong, so it's okay. I think
Well,
I'm
it
okay.
may not be wrong. You may just have another way of doing it. If you can justify your way of doing it, then it's right. You know,
Yeah. Well,
people
no,
think,
I can't because what I didn't do is I didn't link them.
right,
So
okay,
you understand, I
yes.
missed the whole idea of a primary key and whatever. I hadn't got a primary key into my table, so now I know what I've done wrong.
Okay, so
It's okay, I understand.
I'm really kind of getting to the idea that it's all very well learning about all these tables, but unless you actually put them into action and create them in a database and do an SQL query on them, you don't really
Yeah,
get the gist of it. Okay,
yeah, yeah,
so I think
yeah.
I'm going to set an assignment for next week that you have to create a table,
Okay.
create two tables that are linked together in a new database
Yeah,
that you've created, and then you have to do an SQL query to find out certain bits of information and do it all from
okay,
scratch. So
okay.
yeah, just to get you,
Yeah, that's good.
it's
Yeah.
really, some people would just learn databases from an academic point of view, and
Yeah.
you need to you have to get dirty with this, down and dirty
No,
with the
absolutely. Get your head
database.
around it, absolutely. No, it's just I just had it far too simple. What I had done was far too simple.
Okay.
You know, I knew it was too simple when I was doing it, so I couldn't.
Well, I
Okay.
mean, I could put up another normalization one if everyone is agreeable to that, or if you want to do it
Yeah,
again,
I don't mind absolutely. Yeah, I don't mind
just
at
to
all.
get it, into your head that we're all in the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
sheet. I'll just ask. Anne, would that be okay if I set another one?
Yeah, no, that's perfect. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's a good
yeah.
idea. Yeah.
Just while you're in the mode of it. Um, but anyway, okay, so hopefully that's been useful today, and hopefully we'll see you next week.
Yeah, that's great.
Okay,
Thanks, Kyra.
thank you. Cheers.
Thanks.
Okay, okay, bye-bye.